One's Hebrew, one's Yiddish.
Which one is Yiddish?
Yarmulke.
One of them.
I guess.
Okay, so you don't know either then?
He's
Okay.
just making shit up at this point, I think.
I always thought Hebrew and Yiddish were the same thing.
No, Yiddish is more of a Polish. I guess it started in the ghettos in Poland, or I think.
It's German and Polish.
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
Yep. And it uses Hebrew letters, though.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
So
like,
just
Do you like how I knew
like
that? I'm a Gentile,
pigeon,
and I knew
is it
that.
like Pigeon Hebrew, basically?
No. It's weird because there's also the one you don't hear about is Ladino.
That sounded like a rapper.
Right, Ladino?
Yo, it's DJ Ladino.
Yo, what's up? I'm Ladino. I got Thomas Riker on my mixtape, son. We gonna blow that shit up.
Now, Ben, I want you to do this whole podcast as Ladino.
I got Cisco and Gold Ducat on my mixtape, son. That shit's gonna be fire. It's gonna be straight. It's
Cisco,
gonna be
spit a verse,
It's
Cisco.
gonna be lit, son. It's gonna be lit.
You will have the command codes.
My name is Cisco, and I'm here to say...
Gold Ducat and Cisco, we gonna blow it up, son.
Oh, shit, back together. They said it could never happen.
No, that mixtape is straight fire, son. I bought it out the trunk. A Cisco's Starship. It was the best shit I ever heard, yo.
Deep Space Coast meets Kardashian Coast.
So it was on fleek, or whatever the kids say. Now, is it fleek or fleck, or how do you say it? I don't know, because I've never. It's fleek.
Yeah.
I always thought it was fleck.
I don't think they say that anymore, though.
Now we started saying it, so kids stopped.
Yeah.
What do you mean we, Ben? What do you mean we old people?
I know.
Old lamos?
You old motherfucker.
Whoa, Dennis got
Damn.
all.
Oh shit!
Dennis just got all black on us.
That's right.
Yes, I would like to point out to some of the listeners out there. I've heard a problem with Dennis's name.
Dennis Black and Asian?
Yes, because of the way that I've always seen it online as one word, Black and Asian.
Okay.
But a listener came to me with a concern that who was the Asian, because there was Bob,
Dennis,
there's Jenny, there's Ben, and then there's Dennis and Asian, or there's Dennis Black
And Asian.
and Asian.
Oh,
So who's Asian?
No.
Yeah, but
Dennis
there's-
is.
It's one word.
There, we use the Oxford comma, so there would be a comma there.
Yeah.
Manny's not on the show anymore.
Well, see,
Yes.
I'd always seen it though, Black and Asian, as one word on
Like it should
Twitter.
be, it should be hyphenated.
Yes,
I
it's-
suppose,
yeah.
but-
Or it could
Black
be
and
like,
Asian.
yeah, like you know how Toys R Us has like the stars between the R and the, you know like it's toys and then star.
I'll put stars.
R.
I'll put
Yeah.
stars or asterisks between.
Dennis
the,
Black and Asian. No, Dennis Black and Asian is a name that came about when we had our radio show. Dennis called up and somehow revealed that he was Black and Asian. And
Well, I remember exactly how.
how did it happen? Because I don't remember.
Because, I don't remember which one of you it was, but one of you was at a restaurant. It was probably Mike, but the waiter was offering drink specials, and he went to the black table with black people and asked them if they would like. I guess there were two specials. One was the watermelon flavored drink, and one was a different one. And he went to the black table and asked them if they wanted to try the watermelon flavored drink. And they asked Mike if he wanted the other one, was like, lemon flavored or something like that. So they wanted calls only from black people
I remember that. We used to do that. Yes.
to see if that was racist or not.
Yes.
So I called in. Slightly wasn't going to let me on the air because he said I wasn't black. I was like,
Wait a minute. So you weren't you became popular on the show during the Slightly era?
Well, I mean, I
thought it was much later
I
than
was
that.
like Dennis from Hampton for
Okay.
quite a while, but then once you guys had that tidbit of information, I
Oh,
transformed.
into Dennis Black and Asian.
Yes, into the
Okay.
menace known as Dennis Black and Asian.
And then you were black, and then you revealed to us that you were Asian, and because your mom is Japanese and your dad's black. But then I guess in like the hip hop community, black and Asian women are like top shelf, apparently in the hip hop world. So Dennis was Black and Asian.
I'll let my sister know that.
I think it was even in a song at some point, like Black and Asian or something like that. I don't know.
I think
can't.
Busta Rhymes was like, "Is she Lebanese or Chinese?"
Yeah, something like that.
I
don't
think
know.
she's Portuguese. She tried
Yeah.
to steal my house keys. Something like that.
So then that's how it happened. Black and Asian. Dennis Black and Asian.
Yeah.
So there you
Oh
go.
my.
Oh my.
There's your history lesson for today.
So I know we're not talking about it, but maybe we'll do secret ballot for only those people that can see on Patreon, because we're not going to talk about it because
we can't react then.
No, we can't react. Just thumbs up, thumbs down to the new episode of Discovery. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
No reactions.
Okay, I can always edit this out and just put it on Patreon so that only Patreons will see it.
Ooh.
But okay, all right. Interesting. Well, at least we have something to talk about when we're done recording. So, wow, huh? Did you miss him?
Yeah.
Did you miss him?
Yeah.
I did.
He was great. I think I mentioned before that I laughed out loud when Riker hits the screen. I did the same thing this time. I couldn't help it. It's so great.
Surprise.
Because he just immediately goes into pervert Riker mode.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, looks like you've got your
I'm on my
night
way to
planned out for
Ryza.
you. Yeah.
It's got a okay.
You need help sucking on that lollipop?
I've got a lollipop in my pants.
That's right.
This episode starts off with I guess there's a lot of stuff going on Deep Space Nine, and Kira is just tired and working too hard. She's working too difficultly. There's too much pressure on her, which makes me wonder what Cisco does. Like, what does Cisco do? Like what's he doing?
He's playing baseball with Jake.
See, that's why you have a deputy. You dump all the work on them. They lose sleep, and then you're like, Jake, let's go play baseball.
I want to see your girlfriend's titties.
Yeah. He just comes in every morning to get the wormhole status. Is it still there? Very well. Carry on.
So you're saying Cisco is Donald Trump and Kira is Mike Pence?
I would never say that. I would never say that.
I'm talking in sense of leadership. No. All right.
I mean, in the sense that Cisco has leadership.
there's still nothing alike.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, bad comparison. I apologize to all the Cisco fans out there. So yeah,
Cisco's like he's like the hands-off CEO.
Yeah. Or he's just
Like,
not.
if things are wrong, he'll come in there and he'll straighten them out and get them everything rolling the right way.
So he's the head coach.
Yeah.
If you want me to do this, make me captain.
Yeah. He's Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't get steak for chicken prices.
yeah.
That was a good one. So Kira's just overworked and underappreciated, and she goes to see Julian, and Julian's like, "Look, bitch, I need a shuttle because I got to get some medicine for this fucking colony." And she yells at him. Julian's like, "Whoa, hey, back up! You're either A, fucking ragging like a motherfucker."
See?
That's exactly
Wow.
what I said.
Yep, she called it.
You're in your space period.
You're on your
I'm
space
glad you
period.
clarified that, Ben, because I didn't know what you were insinuating.
You either ragging, baby.
It's like a crime scene down there.
Or you stressed out, and she's stressed out.
Yeah.
So Julian says, "All right, you need some R&R, baby," and she goes to Quark's.
Doctor's orders.
Yep, and
And he was right.
What is?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Dad. But go. I bet I've talked too much for this episode already. I'm tired of hearing my own voice.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say that he points out that Commander Cisco, can't override this order because it's his medical, as chief medical officer, he has that power. And that's firmly established in Star Trek lore that even on a starship, I mean,
That's why Picard went to Ryza that one
Yep.
time because
Yeah.
Crusher ordered him to.
and McCoy zapped Kirk
get
with that
laid.
one. Like,
Yeah.
I will relieve you if you don't, It's like,
Well, you think like Julian would be using this power to his latriment because he'd be like, "Look, doctor's orders. You got to suck my dick."
I thought that's where he was going. If I didn't know Riker was already in this episode, then I thought that would definitely be the move.
Doctor's order says you got to spread your butt cheeks for me, mama.
Yeah, just take this hypo spray. You won't remember nothing.
Oh, yes, it looks like a Jell-O pudding pop. That's just something I do for me as a throwback. Why am I wearing this sweater? You ask. I don't know. Just whenever I give people pudding pops, I happen to put this sweater on.
Now, was this the era that HR departments and workplaces started being kinder and gentler? And the whole thing about work is really stressing me out, and then you'd have
snowflakes.
You'd have like I need to take a mental health day, stuff like that. Which 10 years before it was like you need to take your fired day. How about that?
I think personal days started like in the late 80s and the 90s, and it became mental health days in the 2000s.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to see though that Starfleet is very much open to the idea of hey man, a happy worker is a productive worker.
Yeah.
So who does all of her work while she's off?
I mean, who gives a shit, man? That ain't nobody's problem but Joe's,
Dax.
baby. It just
I don't
goes
think her
down.
job is like that important that she can't take a day off.
Yeah.
She's the first officer of the space station.
But it's not like they're like literally at war right now. They're just
they literally are at war right now.
Yeah, they are. If we're gonna be, I mean, they're actually they're in two fronts because I mean, there's the Dominion and the Maquis. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. I mean,
the Maquis ain't trying to do nothing against Starfleet though.
And the Borg,
but they're out
could
and
be acting up.
Yeah, and they got
the Borg's acting up again.
They got to blow up Voyager just in case I don't have to watch that dumbass show.
No, this is within the same Stardate range as Voyager. That's coming up very soon.
They need to send a Defiant after that to kill that dumb show that
I guess that's why they dropped the Badlands reference in this.
Yep.
To set that all up.
So the Badlands.
This is kind of weird because
that's what
this episode came out on the 21st of November.
It was the 21st of November.
But
I love that song.
Star Trek Generations had just come out 3 days earlier on the 18th of November.
I like that
but
movie.
The star date for Generations is actually after the star date for this episode.
My head just fucking exploded. You can't see that unless you're a Patreon and you get the video. My fucking brain just blew off.
So wait, hold on. Say that again about the star date.
Okay. Don't make him do it again, please. I just want to move on.
No, so here's for the Patreon users. Here's November 21st, and here is November 18th.
No, I get the
right. So the Generations came out first, and then this episode came out.
Right.
But the star dates would indicate that Generations comes after this episode.
Because you would think they would know. Hey, didn't the Enterprise just blow up? Why is Riker here, just chilling out on vacation?
Yeah.
Well, he took care of the spaceship. He's got nothing else to do.
Well, he's on the way.
He's got to find something else to blow up.
He's on the way. Well, and then we finally get to him because there he is in all of his horny glory, just standing there like, "Sup,
beautiful man.
I'm Riker." And it's like Dennis said, I knew he was going to be in the episode because it's the Netflix. It's the Netflix preview. It's just a picture of Riker, and I'm like, oh man. And it's weird because when I first saw him, I immediately missed him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because we spent so many days together, Riker and I, all of us together. We watched TNG in its entirety. I mean, it took us, once a week, 5 years to watch this show, and then I was filled with I was happy to see him.
And it was classic Riker too, because he waited for the wounded animal to separate from the herd. He watched the whole, Dr. Bashir and Quark, setting her up with everything for her night to begin and everything like that. He's like, all right, she's all alone. She just had that first drink of Romulan ale. All right, time to move in.
Riker time. Yeah. And then he's like, what's up, ladies?
Yeah.
And and the weird part is Kira knows him. Kira just spots him and she's like, damn, son.
Yeah.
I got to get that dick all up in my mouth.
She does the elevator eyes.
Yeah. And I was telling Stephanie, because the next scene after the credits is Riker is in the office with Cisco talking about what he's doing. He's like, I'm just on my way to Ryza. I used to have a thing with the Dabo girl. I wanted to see if she was still around. And then,
she's banging my son.
Yeah, so that means they're Eskimo bros. No. Jake and Riker are Eskimo bros. How fucking great is that? Yeah. I was stoked.
See, the scene that you don't see is that after Riker leaves Cisco's office, Cisco goes back to his comm panel and calls Jake and says, "Hey, you might want to stop by and you might want to go see Dr. Bashir.
Get every vaccination imaginable.
Get some penicillin.
Stick your dick in the fucking... Just stick it.
This is an emergency, so there's no time for pleasantries. I'm going to tell my son to stick his dick somewhere.
I started laughing and I couldn't get it out.
Take your dick to Dr. Bashir.
So yeah, but I mean, just the joy in me that I felt like Riker and Jake are Eskimo bros, and even Riker was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
Awkward.
Stay away from those Dabo girls. I would have been cool if Riker was like, "Which one? The one with those ungas?"
With the big tits. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
I just don't understand, okay, how as a woman, she's banged Riker, and then she's going to go to a 16-year-old kid.
I mean, once you
She needs to reset.
the old bull, I mean, you want to ride the
I
young
mean,
bull.
you've had somebody that experienced in the art of pleasure. You kind of want to pass on that knowledge to a novice.
See,
Or maybe.
I'm thinking it's more that Jake's time in the holosuites really paid off. I mean, it's just like
I don't think so.
But I
you
mean,
level up.
Her
Riker,
pussy's wrecked
Riker,
by Riker.
Riker probably eventually showed her what she needs, or he's warped her mind so that she thinks she only needs what he can give. So now she's taking the clay that is young sexual Jake and molding him into
A deviant.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm
what
really-
if,
So
like,
Jake will grow up to be Riker.
what if she needs
He's
because you
gonna
know how,
start growing a beard.
what are you doing, son? Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know. What do you mean? Son,
He
yeah.
just puts his leg
Is
up
that
on
magic
things.
marker?
But what if she's been like so damaged and just destroyed that like she needs
That's
to
given.
yeah, like she just needs to like, okay, I gotta go for a dude that is not threatening to me, that he's not gonna make me stick things in every orifice of my body. You know, maybe it's that way. Maybe
Or
it's
somebody who's probably just going to be okay with just making out.
yeah. Because Rick could be like,
You know,
yeah,
Jake,
okay.
Jake doesn't need to go all the way, around the bases or nothing
Yeah.
like that. He'll be okay with getting a hand up her shirt or something.
Yeah, where
the,
Riker's
the
like,
occasional
all right.
bunt. He's
Yeah.
happy with.
Riker's like, all right,
Exactly.
tug my butt.
Nice butt single.
Let's break out the trombone. Not again, Will. Come on, we're breaking out the trombone. It's rusted trombone time, baby.
Hey, 76 trombone is what I have. Come on, baby.
Mm-hmm. Now you're gonna fuck Worf.
Find the rusty one.
No. And you're gonna fuck Worf, and Geordi's gonna record it on his visor. All right, go. Make this happen.
The whole episode is just like,
They install a red light on Geordi's visor so they know when he's recording.
Mhm. Mhm. Come on, put on a show for Daddy. Let's go.
Damn, Worf. Both of them in there? All right.
Wow, I thought they would be the same size. It's weird that they're different sizes. That seems strange to me.
wait, wasn't the one on the left the big one first? Is that?
Might want to go get that checked out. But how many other people do you think can make the claim that they are indeed Eskimo bros with William Riker?
A lot of people probably.
Probably a lot, yeah.
People that
Maybe
know
not-
it. People that know it is probably a small population.
Yeah.
But probably most people in the 24th century.
Well, you know that Picard would have to be.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
he spent time on Risa.
Okay, all
And,
right. I
you
see
know,
what you're
and
doing.
that's
Fuck
like-
the entire population of Risa.
So if he hooked up, if you've gone to Risa and hooked up any time in the last 20 years, welcome to a club.
Riker just walks
I
around.
mean,
Riker
didn't
sees-
Riker give him his Horgon? So
Yeah,
that's
he
like,
did.
That's his avatar on the planet. It's like, oh,
Riker-
you know Riker.
Riker walks around on Risa just going to everybody, how's my dick taste? How's my dick taste? How's my dick taste? How's my dick taste?
It's like the fucking Mara Risa. They're like, oh, Will.
It's like
That
the man
rash-
walking into Cheers.
that rash cleared up, Riker. Hey, good for
I
you.
told you it would, baby. You want to try a different one? Here we go.
How's my dick taste? 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 All right. But yeah, and then you have the moment where the ladies are talking kind of like girls. It's like space sex in the city.
Yeah,
You know,
because
they
Kira can't stop looking at the door to
Yeah.
Cisco's office.
because she's into Will.
Yeah.
But like, it's got to be great because I was telling Stephanie, I was like, wow, the agent for Jonathan Frakes, because he's not necessarily an attractive man. Like, he's all right.
He carries himself very well.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, but like,
And he's a big, tall guy. Big, tall guys, I mean, they get a lot more play than they probably deserve.
yeah.
As an average-sized guy, I say that.
But I mean, like, because the whole episode is just about how he's fucking there. Like, the first 10, 15 minutes of this episode is just, hey, man, Will Riker's the coolest motherfucker in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole...
Everybody has a Riker story from when he was
Yeah.
here last time. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Riker, oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, he is the fucking Dean Martin of Starfleet. Like, everybody loves him. Everybody wants him around. He's just there to fucking...
Well, almost everybody.
Well, see, what was the when Ginny pointed out though is that when we were watching it, she's like, "Did he write this episode too?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Written and directed
episode's-
by Jonathan Frakes.
This episode's going to be about me being awesome, and then I'm going to shoot somebody and do more awesome shit. Oh, and that's right. Oh, and halfway through the episode, I'm going to take off my beard straps.
Yes, I want those.
Yes, dude. And I'm like, oh shit. But anyway, so Riker's just being Riker. I mean, he's just doing shit that Riker does, man. I wish there would have been like more Riker stuff before we got to it, because I had my mouth all ready for a Riker centric episode. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, I thought there'd be some, like, you know, some more chicks and some gambling and some drinking, and Riker was gonna be hooting it up and stuff like that. So like,
They switched the filling on you. Like you
Yeah.
expected a Riker filling in that Riker empanada, but it was a Thomas Riker filling.
See, I was okay. So
spoilers!
now that you revealed that, though, the first time you guys watched it, because this is the first time you saw
Yeah.
it. And I don't know, was it the first time you saw it, Bob?
Yes.
And Dennis, did you see it back in the day, or
No, I didn't see this.
so?
I
Did
was
anybody suspect that it wasn't?
No one suspects Thomas Riker.
It's like the Spanish
I
Inquisition.
thought, like, after they revealed it, I was like, oh yeah, I think somebody mentioned that Thomas Riker shows up in DS9 at some point. But I didn't know that it was in this episode now.
Yeah.
I thought it was smooth ass Riker.
I was amped because, like, he was doing he was hitting all the Riker notes.
Well, I mean, because he is Riker up
Yeah.
until 2 years ago, or 9 years ago, rather.
But okay, so like, Riker is leaving. I don't know where he was coming out of. Like, he runs into Kira accidentally.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm drunk as fuck. Sup?" And because he even says, like, my mind was a million miles away. So I just take that as he's drunk as fuck.
He just blew up the space station. Basically.
See, that was my concern when he shows up on DS9. My thought right off the bat is, there should be like a special code alert that goes out to space station commanders. It's like, Riker is on your space station, and it's like, yes, so. Well, he has this history.
You don't understand. He is on your space station. Then you see the look in Cisco's eyes.
Dun, 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 dun,
My God.
dun, dun, dun.
If he has
Computer
sex,
disable all auto destruct.
Too late. And there's just a ship flying away.
beep, 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 beep.
Riker.
Now they'll never talk.
None of them. And he's got the Dabo girl with him. He's like, yeah, fuck you, Jake.
and Jake. I mean, it's just like,
She's gagged.
Eiffel Tower.
But so Riker just kind of walks out and he runs into her and he's like, so what's up?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, nothing. So initially she leaves and then she kind of stops and she's like, hey, do you want to tour the station? And Riker takes this as like a boom, I'm in, right? Like, yes. Yes, by tour you
He
mean
didn't
sex.
force
By
himself on
station,
her or
you mean
anything.
Your butthole. Yes, I'm in.
He's like, hey, he's like a vampire, a sex vampire.
Mhm.
We had the sex werewolf with Jordy. Now we have the sex vampire with Riker. You have to invite him in,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
it's over.
It's not rape if you invite me.
Exactly.
Now, Jenny,
let me
hang on.
glamour you.
Jenny, I have to say your lips look fantastic this evening.
Why, thank you very much,
They're
Bob.
really red. I mean, really red.
This is a fly girl color. This is my vampire, my sex vampire color.
Oh, sex vampire color. Now, if I wanted to be a sex vampire and have that color of lip gloss, how would I go about doing that? They look really fantastic.
You could go to facebook.com/oral fixation lips. Send me a message. I've got all the colors and you can choose from All of them.
Let me write that down. You said oral fixation. Is that
Yes.
that's on Facebook? Mhm.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, Jenny. Their lips look great. They're fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So anyway, now okay, so then we have she says, "Hey, you want to see the station?" And he's like, "Oh, I want the Defiant."
Where do we start?
Yeah, where do we start? And now who mentions the Defiant?
He does.
Okay, so he mentions
Just
the Defiant.
matter of factly.
Matter of
And
fact,
she's like, "Oh, we can walk around the promenade." He's like, "Oh, maybe I can get a tour of the Defiant.
okay,
Awesome ass ship you guys have."
that rockin' ass ship. You know, I've never fucked anybody on an experimental warship before.
It's
Huh?
experimental. I like to experiment.
Experiment. I mean,
Give it a shot.
see what happens, right? Am I right? Yeah. So,
Now, if I remember correctly, Bajorans have like another hole than humans do, right?
there's like a hole between their vagina hole and butthole. They have a taint hole, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
There's like 3 holes down there, like a bowling
It's like a
ball.
bowling.
And you got like an earring in there too, right?
Yeah, you guys like shit like that. You guys
Now, do you pierce the G spot? Is that some kind of weird thing that you guys do? I mean, 'cause
If you
that's
don't,
kinda-
I will. Oh, Riker.
Oh, William, you silly boy. So they managed to get on the Defiant, which is easy. They run the DNA test and all that stuff and the scans, and everybody passes clean. And then on the ship, O'Brien's there.
And he came really close to saying shit.
O'Brien?
When he came up and he like smacked his head on the console,
Motherfucker.
it was like, shit.
Can we do that again? I know I can't say motherfucker on syndicated television. Could we try that again?
Cut.
Now,
The line is blimey. You're Irish.
Fuck you! I've hit my head 50 times today. So Riker and O'Brien cross paths, and they have beef.
This is what confused me because I was like, what the hell's going on? Did I miss something?
Well, that's the trick.
Did he bang Keiko before he left? No?
That's how you're supposed. That's the telltale that it's
Something's up.
but like what?
But it's weird that O'Brien just goes along with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Or maybe this is a Riker move. Like whenever he's trying to get alone with a lady.
Hey, why don't you get the fuck out of here?
That's his
aggro.
code.
Yeah, and then so
Oh.
O'Brien's like, all right, cool.
Well, did O'Brien beat? Was he the transport operator when the beam happened? Where he split?
No.
So then
But he is a transporter chief, so maybe it's like PTSD against all transporter chiefs.
And then
Racist.
somebody's got to. Yeah, all right.
You did this to me.
Because I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't understand.
It was just a tactic because nobody on the station knows Riker well, except for O'Brien, who served with him for so long.
He doesn't want any extra questions coming from O'Brien.
Okay, so then,
he's
like, so
playing
he-
it like, oh, you know what you did, O'Brien. O'Brien's like, shit, what the fuck did I do?
I was probably
I know I
drunk.
was. Yeah, he was
Something
blacked out
happened.
drunk a lot, so he's like, fuck.
So he leaves, and then O'Brien stops, and he's like, "Huh, that was weird," and just walks away.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the whole tactic then, like,
Exactly.
Mhm.
because I'm trying to rack my brain, watch this, going like, why would they not like each other? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
But now,
And the first time you see it, that's what you think. You don't know the reveal that's coming up, so you're just
It
like,
would be better
shit.
if there actually was something.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Mhm.
I mean, it's probably sex related. It's probably Keiko related.
Yeah.
O'Brien wouldn't let Riker film them having sex.
Riker was probably like, "Look, I don't want to bang your old lady. She's boring in bed. Like, don't make me do it. It'll ruin our friendship. She just lays there. Riker needs action. I need excitement.
No, what it was on Nirvana 3.
I don't want to do her missionary. I'm bored with that. You Irish guys with the missionary stuff.
Oh, come on, number one. Do it one time for me.
No, Riker doesn't do it. I'm not doing it through a sheet, you Puritan. You weird Catholic. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to slap her in the face with it a few times because that's how Riker likes to do things.
Yes.
But no, not that way.
Aye, laddie. Do it.
Now take this bar of Irish Spring and put in a sock. That's right. Now smack me with it. Smack me harder.
Smack me in the balls.
That's
Hey,
the
put
way
your
I
purse
like it.
down, Riker. Really, give it to me.
Oh yeah, Riker, right there.
Next time, invite your husband, Riker.
I like
He's
our
turning into
accents.
fat bastard.
Yeah, totally.
I eat because I'm no anyway.
But yeah, so then your boy leaves, and then they're on the ship alone, and when Riker starts putting around and be like, wow, this is really neato. Check all this cool stuff out.
Yeah, how do I turn this on?
Yeah. And then he turns it on, and then he fucking shoots her.
Yeah, she unlocks it for him. And then
Yeah.
he's like,
The whole
"Thanks."
bridge lights up, and she's like, "Yeah."
And watch my
Again.
phaser light up right in your chest.
Oh!
Do you have those anti-phaser detectors?
Yeah.
No.
No, why would we have?
Okay, good. Now I shot you. And now you're not dead.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah,
Stunning.
so then there's an emergency red alert in
Oh, no.
ops. And Sister's like, what the hell is going on? Because Kira's not there, so he has to ask the questions now.
Oh shit!
Mm.
And
Now you know he's
Riker-
gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
Because he has to do something, yeah.
This is horseshit.
This was my nap time.
Fuck you guys.
so Riker comes on. He's like, "Oh, there's like some kind of conduit blew, and everything.
We got a coolant leak.
Yeah, I'll take it out into space so it can blow up. Just release the docking clamp." So they do that, and then he warps on out of there.
Pew! And they're like, oh shit, Riker's gone.
Yeah.
But
And
at
then,
least the station's not blown up.
but it's
so
not
that's
real Riker because he sits in the chair and then he takes off his fucking sideburns.
Yeah,
What?
because he beams on those two other
Yeah.
people.
And then you're like, oh yeah, Will had a brother or something weird happen, like clone thing. I'm not really sure.
Transporter twin.
Transporter twin, Thomas Riker, everybody. Thomas Riker.
Well
Welcome
played,
to the
Thomas.
It was cool. I mean, like, I didn't see it coming. I thought this was just going to be like a swinging D Riker episode. And then now you've got motherfuckers stealing ships and stuff. Because when it first happened, I was like, oh, somebody's impersonating him. And I was like, oh, yeah, he took the sideburns off. And I'm like, it's Thomas Riker.
So here's the question: are Thomas Riker and Will Riker Eskimo brothers?
No.
I guess it depends on how much he got into his role there on DS9. Because there's no way Riker would be there a night and not bang somebody.
Well, he hooked up with Dax, just because of the way she was acting.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
that's Will, not Thomas.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Thomas and Will, though, go back to TNG, though. They both banged Deanna.
No, I don't think he did. I don't think Thomas Riker banged Deanna.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, no, they both did while they were both still Will.
Yeah, but that's
see.
just Will.
No, that doesn't count.
So,
Yeah,
so pre-transport,
split. Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't exist. Will
Yeah.
is Will
Thomas
until
doesn't. Yeah, Thomas doesn't exist until the split.
You
After
have
this.
William Thomas, and then you have Will and Thomas.
Yeah.
Now, there's a very good chance that he banged somebody that Will banged also.
one trip to
Banger.
Verizon. Yeah.
I think we got into this when we did that episode. Like before that transporter accident is kind of the breaking point for Will Riker. Like all of his morals were being back down onto that planet.
Yeah.
So that's why he became a
Because
sex
he
maniac.
was the nicer, because we
Yeah.
just said like it's the evil twin.
Yeah.
Like
It's
all
like
of
he was all respectful
Yeah.
with Deanna and everything. And
Well, see, I still remember that. That was the thing, is he broke up with Deanna to focus on his career after
and to
that.
bang
Yes.
every woman in the galaxy.
But he also got a promotion. he was Lieutenant Riker when he beamed down.
Yeah.
And then because he rescued the colonists and all that bullshit, when he came back up, he got promoted to Lieutenant Commander Riker, and then that put him in line to be XO on the Enterprise.
Yes.
Thomas, who stayed on the planet after the split for 7 years on the planet or whatever it was. When he beamed up and they rescued him, they're like, okay, yep, you're still in Starfleet, so you're a lieutenant still. And he was pissed off, I think, because it's like, wait, I did all the work, the same work that he did. He got lieutenant commander out of it, and I got fucked. So I should at least minimum be lieutenant commander.
So you're saying this is why he goes over to the side of the Maquis, because he's mad?
I think it's
About
I think
not
it's
making
part
right?
of it. Well, not just.
Should be.
I think it's part of the whole thing of why the fuck is he more special than me?
well,
because
also, I'm sure
when Riker, go ahead, Dennis.
when during that time of the pre-transporter accident, they were probably still at war with the Cardassians, right? And now he comes out of this transporter, and they have this bullshit peace treaty where they gave up all this territory to the Cardassians. He probably has some resentment about that. He hasn't had time to heal those wounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
like
sense.
everybody else has.
Well, I think though only O'Brien was really front line with the Cardassian War. I mean, the Federation is so big that we can have a war off on the side there, and it's just like, oh yeah, that was the Cardassian front. Yeah.
I also think too that like when they split, the sex deviant Riker was like, I can get a lot more fucking crazy trim if I'm like a XO as opposed to just being some stupid lieutenant. Yeah. So then I think the sex drove him to want to, achieve more in his career.
Yeah.
You can't spell sex without X.
Yeah.
He's a triple XO.
Yeah, baby. So it's Thomas Riker, which is interesting. I also like how they go along with the mirror idea that evil Riker has a goatee.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like he's goateed. So as soon as you took it, like, oh, that's evil goateed Riker.
Yeah.
Got it. So that makes sense, So I was happy with that. Then we just kind of go from there.
Yeah. I like the briefing room scene when they explained the transporter actions to the Cardassians. And for the viewers who maybe had missed TNG.
Yes.
Yeah. People who only watch DS9.
Yes, people who only watch DS9. I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Like all 5 of them.
Yeah, but they explained to Gul Dukat, who is the perfect person to be explaining this to, because he already thinks the Federation is like a monkey fucking a football. He thinks it's like just this exercise in like futility and ridiculousness. And he's like, oh, cool. So there's 2 of these fucking guys. That's awesome.
And it's no surprise
you're telling
that
me this because...
Why do I fucking care?
I think I left all my fucks back on my ship. I need to get to, so...
And I'm so surprised that you guys fucked up and gave control of your powerful ship to this guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, that
Good
was
job.
a shock. That was a little shocking to it.
It was like, huh?
The fact that the transporter accident happened, he's like, it's it's the fucking Federation. Was there a holodeck malfunction that week too?
Was Barclay there?
What was the B story of that one?
Was there something happening at the Romulan neutral zone that was more interesting than the shit that was happening that week?
Is that the one where Data has a dream? It's like, what are you talking about?
I know everything.
I've got the compendium. I read through it.
And I tell you what, man, like I know we've talked about this in the past, but I am so torn about Gul Dukat because I'm supposed to hate him. Like he is an evil, evil man. Like he's a terrible person.
He's Space Hitler.
This episode, though, man, he does a good job of whittling you down.
But fuck, he's awesome to watch. Where he's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit about your fucking stupid Rikers. Like, who gives a fuck? And I'm just like, he's awesome. Like, I love him. He's so wonderful. And
I think that's what makes him such a great character is that you're just conflicted about him all the time,
Yeah.
And he doesn't even really care that this guy stole the Defiant at first.
Yeah, he's like,
well, we think he's working with the Maquis. He's like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And then he automatically becomes interested. He's like, oh, you fucking Federation people are just the dumbest.
Yeah.
And
Did you
then
just leave the keys on the coffee table? And he just, is that how stupid you are?
basically, yes.
Well, he passed the DNA test, which is a first.
We scraped
for
it all
him.
up off the holosuite floor. It was definitely him.
I just love Gul Dukat, man. He's so much fun.
Yeah. Him and Cisco are building a chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then Gul Dukat's like, look, man, we got to hunt this fucking guy down. We're going to send every ship after this dude. We're going to do whatever we can. Yeah. And then Cisco kind of weasels his way in. He's like, well, look, I can help you guys disable the ship because we want it back because it'll help us fight the Dominion and blah, blah, blah. So they come to some kind of impasse, some kind of accord, if you will. And again, like Dennis was saying, they are building this chemistry, which is really fun to watch. Because like at points, I just think they try to out crazy each other, which is kind of fun, because they're both a little wacky, and I dig that about them, Gul Dukat is more of a genocidal wacky, where Cisco is more just like generally kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Cisco's a fun drunk.
Cisco or Gul Dukat is like Idi Amin, and Cisco is like Bozo the Clown. Like that kind of weird. Like, he's like, huh?
Yeah. Like, why does he talk like that? And that's every time he talks. I just, why is he talking like that? Like, it's just
So imagine Idi Amin and Bozo the Clown getting together.
But they
And
have
being friends.
yeah, and they have really good chemistry together.
They're forced to work together, and so
Yeah.
they kind of try to build a rapport.
Yeah, they make the most of it. And so there they go. That's what happens. They end up on Cardassia, and they're like, all right, we got to find this fucking ship. So let's find it. And then all of a sudden, the Obsidian Order shows up. And the Obsidian Order has a really scary sounding name for a very scary sounding organization. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the word Obsidian sounds really freaky.
Unless you play Minecraft.
I don't, so I don't know.
So then it sounds freaky.
This is in the times before Minecraft.
Oh, the dark
ages.
times.
Yes.
They tell of a tale of a time.
Back when obsidian was always a bad thing.
Because it was black. I mean, no. It's
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ. Well, who let that get racial, Ray? God damn it. Get out of the
Honestly.
studio.
Honestly, yeah, that's a real reason.
I haven't heard Rachel Ray in a really long time. That was cool.
I know.
Yeah.
He just
He
snuck
finally
right
made
in
his
here.
way out to the Bajoran space.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the do not fly list for a long
Came
time.
out there with Thomas Riker.
That's what it was.
Oh, Thomas. So racist.
Thomas and friends.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
So yeah, so that lady shows up and she's like, secure everything while the humans here.
Damn. She's not
Really
very
rude.
nice. She's not very nice. But the cool part about it is she really enjoys not being nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like there are some people that just get their kicks off being just a total dickhead.
Yeah.
And this lady is clearly one of them. There are
I gotta
people
tell
that
you, like, you know, the Klingons, whenever they bring in a new Klingon in TNG, I always enjoy it. I think they always usually do a pretty good job with the new Klingons. Cardassians, not so much, but not Cardassians, but Romulans, they're all pretty much the same type character, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking these auxiliary Cardassians they bring in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's pretty great, too.
yeah, she's awesome. Like she loves being a dickhead to everybody. Like
Yeah.
And she knows she can get away with it to
Yeah.
whoever she wants to because
Dude,
she's
she-
Obsidian Order.
fuck yeah, everybody's like, whoa, dude.
They're like the Gestapo or something.
Yeah.
You know. Or
I mean-
the
SS or
political
something.
officers that the communists used to have.
And it's cool to see like Gul Dukat kind of butt heads with another Cardassian, because even Cisco at one point's like, you know, you guys operate independently of each other. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like,
Yeah.
this is the way we've been doing it for fucking 500 years, human. Why don't you
Yeah.
fucking shut the fuck up?
Where were you guys 500 years ago?
Yeah, you guys were fucking.
You didn't even have warp drive.
You guys were dumb.
off.
Yeah, so I'm not listening to you with my Cobra head.
But you just barely invented ironclads, I think,
Yeah.
at that time.
You guys are
So-
dickheads. But yeah, they were having probably the war with fucking your boy with Khan, right?
No. 500 years before this was like the 1800s.
So they were just a bunch of dummies then. Okay, yeah.
This
All
would be
right.
like
We had
18
cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
He's a
right.
lizard man, Paul. He done come out the sky. Shoot him again, boy.
We got good eating tonight.
Well, them alligator men from space done crashed in my backyard, and I eat him up. God
Yeah, I'm
damn it.
I'm waiting for Star Trek Dodge City when Cardassians land in the Old West.
That does sound like a really great like 50s sci-fi movie though. Fucking
Yeah.
alligator men from outer space. Like that sounds really
It'd
amazing.
be like that Doctor Who episode, Town Called Mercy, or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
Yes.
a little.
into
Yeah.
Old Town or Old West Town. Yeah.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. But yes, so what are we talking about this episode? Yes, Thomas.
So yeah, so they're looking for the Defiant, but it's all cloaked and everything. And
Yeah.
they actually detect its warp signature,
Oh
shit.
and so Gul Dukat sends all the Cardassians everywhere after it. But
Cisco calls him.
No,
they're faking it.
that is a bullshit warp.
Are slight variances.
That is not
signature.
the case. They are tricking you.
Yeah.
I like in this scene, Goldacott keeps telling the guy at the keyboard on the other side of the room, like, "Hey, tell them stop, go back." And the guy's like, "But they're doing something else. Tell them to stop doing that." And I kept yelling at the screen, like, why won't this guy just tell them what the commander of the fleet is telling him to, relay? And they just kind of get their ass handed to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And
fire that guy.
The mean Cardassian lady is just digging this because she's like, oh man, Gul Dukat's a dumbass.
She's getting so moist because Dukat's being made to look like an idiot.
Now this is the one part of the
By
episode
a human.
I don't like because Gul Dukat has always come off as such a badass. Like it was weird to kind of see him neutered by Sisko.
But I mean, usually he gets because he has a huge ego. Yeah. And it always seems to get damaged by the course of events in the episode. It's kind of like when he thought he was going to beam off a DS9 when the
that's right.
was on and he couldn't. Like things like that always seem to happen to him at his moment of glory.
So you're saying Gul Dukat is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Basically.
Like so that would have been this like time to beam off this station and he hits the button and pretty good. Interesting. All right, that's a good observation.
Yeah, I would like to see a Curb episode with
Golden God. So it's just.
I'd like to see a Star Trek episode with Larry David. I mean,
never know.
I think that would be just as good.
I would love to see like a day in the life of Gul Dukat, like going doing Gul Dukat stuff, and he just runs into people, and he's just Larry David. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's got to pick up his kids from Cardassian elementary school,
and then he cuts in line at the fucking pickup line, and somebody gets mad at him and shit like that. I'd watch that.
Goldacott uses the handicap toilet because he had to go really bad. And then when he comes out, everybody's judging him.
Yeah, there's just handicapped Cardassians lined up. They're Federation War veterans.
Just don't make eye contact.
And we could make it where Sisko could be like his Jeff Green, like his buddy, where they all... So you'd have like an odd couple / that'd be cool. I'd watch that.
This is after they're retired.
Yeah.
And Gul Dukat is trying to find a new career. So Sisko's trying to help him get a job in the Federation.
Yeah, I would totally watch that. Mm-hmm. Curb Your Dukat.
Well, when the ratings don't do so well in the second season, you could bring in people like Odo or Quark, just to kind of remember.
Kira comes in and she just yells at him like Jeff Green's wife does on the show.
Jesus, Ben.
But you almost punched her again? Ben's ruthless. He's just a punching machine.
I thought you guys changed your locale so that would be a less likely chance of happening.
I think I just need to tie Ben up, is what it is.
Well,
yeah.
Don't let us stop you. Have you tried sitting on the other side of Ben?
Have you tried sitting
it
on
won't matter.
I'm a lefty.
Oh my God.
Have you tried sitting on Ben's face?
Watch this.
Try sitting on his face.
Yeah, try sitting on his face. Yeah.
Well, that'd be great because I'm on my space period, so.
Oh, yeah. Get those Red Wings, Ben. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Patreon users, congratulations.
We'll have
got a special treat tonight.
We'll have a pinning ceremony for you, Ben. You get your Red Wings next episode. All right, G. We'll show up in uniform.
Got your blood wings.
For service above and beyond the call of duty.
Of all the souls I've met in my travels, his was the most
bloody.
Oh, man.
On us.
I like how you do that. Like you almost hit me again, right then.
Now, how many people does it take to fly the Defiant normally? Because they have a crew of 3, and they're doing a really great job.
2, 3.
Well, see, they were supposed to, because they rendezvoused with the other Maquis ships and beamed over some extra people. But they only had 3 on the bridge, I guess.
Okay.
Steal it.
All right. So it takes 3 people to run the bridge of the Defiant. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, plus the captain or whatever.
Okay. Which is Thomas.
Yeah, because they brought a black guy up there to
I didn't see the black guy.
Give him more diversity.
See, because Dennis, I don't see race, so I just saw a guy.
Oh, you're post-racial, I see.
Yes, I'm in the 24th century, bro. Post-racial.
Sorry, I'm programmed.
I didn't see it. I just saw a guy. Actually, I didn't see the black guy. I just saw the white lady and the guy with the vest. Those are the only two people I really saw on the bridge.
So wait, so you don't even see anybody who's not white?
Yes.
That's what you mean.
No, I don't see anybody who's
They
not
don't even
wearing,
exist.
I don't see anybody who's not wearing a smart vest, okay? Because they both had cool vests. The one lady's vest had like weird patches on it, which was really neat. And the other guy had one of those like photography looking vests. Like in his spare time, he takes pictures of girls and because they're models and he puts them up on DeviantArt for his portfolio. Spread your butt cheeks a little. Yeah, that's real tasteful. All right. So you're using your camera phone. No, this is just a prelim. I got to go back and edit these later in shop photo.
Yeah, I'm just testing the lighting in here. It's good, you know.
Yeah, lighting.
But that lady, she was awfully proud of herself a lot. Like every time she did something, she was just like,
Look at me.
Maybe she'll be on the Curb episode and like Gold Ducat will be like, stop making that face. You didn't do anything. These ships practically fly themselves. Bum, 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 bum.
I just watched the new Curb.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I want to watch
How is
it.
it?
How
The
was
new
it?
seasons. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Now, how many years was it since the last season?
Several.
It seems like forever.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, it's been a while.
The last season I watched was the Seinfeld one, and I really enjoyed that.
Maybe it's like 2010.
Wow,
something like
it
that.
can't.
2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's a really long break.
Maybe it's been a while.
And I love how HBO is
It's been
like,
a while.
do whatever you want. I don't care. Just do. Yeah, you want to make episodes.
While getting from there to here.
Because I remember that show started when we started doing the radio shows. That thing has been on forever, but they have taken many breaks.
Yeah,
I think
living
I
in
was
Charleston back then.
Yeah, I was in Dahlgren,
I don't know where that is.
Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Well, I was walking in Dahlgren.
I still like the season where they have the restaurant is a really good one. And then the one where they do the producers is great with David Schwimmer. Do you remember that one?
Like I miss a lot of the later.
Yeah.
Like
I
know
really-
the first
I want to
couple
say this is like the third and fourth season. The one where Larry opens the restaurant with like he has some partners and they have a restaurant, which is good. And Larry gives them all bells and it's really fucking funny. He fires the executive chef like 4 days before they open because when he interviewed he was bald, but then Larry saw him later and he was wearing a toupee. Larry was really offended by that. It's just really great.
Yeah. The one that sticks in my mind from the early seasons, probably the first season, was the one where he keeps whistling the Wagner song. And the other Jewish guy keeps getting upset.
That's a good one. I like the double A MCO one. That one's good.
Yeah. Double A. Honk honk.
Hey, what the fuck? That's a good one. Trying to think. I love the beloved.
Wait, that was a wrestler that he rear-ended too, right?
No, that's a different episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his
That's
kids were making faces at him.
Kids
Yeah,
were making
yeah.
faces at him, yeah. And then the beloved cunt one was really awesome too. Do you remember that one? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
When
Somebody's aunt died.
his wife died. What's her name? Her name on the Cheryl's aunt dies, and Larry writes the obituary, and there was a typo, and it says "beloved cunt" instead of "beloved aunt."
Aunt.
Yeah.
No, what was the Green's parents? The dad. The dad was Sonny Drysdale from the Beverly Hillbillies.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was Milburn Drysdale's stepson.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Any relation to Don Drysdale?
No.
And then, of course, there's the Crazy Eyed Killer episode, which is just top notch. If you haven't seen that episode, you should do yourself a favor.
I've been trying to go back in because, like on demand, they have the HBO episodes and stuff.
Oh,
so I've
yeah.
been trying to go through those, but
the
so much stuff
crazy
to watch.
The Crazy Eyed Killer one is good. It's 23 minutes long. It's fucking hilarious. It's Larry David hanging out with like Wanda Sykes's gangster rapper fiance. It's fucking hilarious. So anyway,
I know that backside anywhere.
yeah, I love that. I love that show. It's great. So anywho, back to
Star Trek.
where-
Yo, DJ Ladino back in the house.
His triumphant return.
Yes, and then the thing I'll say about Thomas Riker is I have to agree with Kira that he's not a great terrorist, because he's just explaining his.
You're a giant pussy.
Yeah, she basically says that, but like he's just like pontificating and just kind of blabbing about like the plans of the operation to her, like. He's just like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing because I got some intelligence reports.
They think I'm over here, but I'm really over there.
Oh man, we gonna do this stuff? I don't know. Like it just seemed it's very James Bond villainy here at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's
It's
just
like terrorists are more like hit and run, hit and run,
Yeah.
hit and run. But he's got a master plan. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to draw them away from a certain area that he wants to exploit.
yeah, because he's got
Kind of like Will Riker would do.
yeah, he
with
wants all
a
the
female target.
he wants all the glory. He's gonna
Yeah,
just-
Are there any
Isolated.
space stations in this area?
well, there are because that's where they're going. They're going to like a planet because I guess
Are there any women on this space station?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. And Riker's and Thomas Riker, much like Will Riker, is gonna blow that shit up.
Nice.
Because I guess there's like the Obsidian Order has like secret bases because I guess there's like a split in Cardassian thought or something like that, and they want to, and I guess the Obsidian Order wants to be more kind of militant and kind of vigil about seeking out the Maquis and kind of rummaging up kind of bad feelings for this treaty and yada yada. So they have this secret plan, and Thomas is
Because they're not supposed to have any military
Yeah.
weaponry.
Which I mean, come on.
It's like the CIA. You know, basically,
No,
the
but-
CIA is not supposed to have all kinds
Ships.
of military weaponry.
But my point being, come on, it's the Cardassians. Like that's what they do.
They're
They-
sneaky.
They have giant butts and they are sneaky.
Yeah, they just do shit they're
That's
not
the
supposed to do. They're just sneaky motherfuckers. So I mean, like the fact that anybody, especially the people in like the what do they call them? Like the command. What do they
The
call
Central
them?
Command.
Central Command.
I was close. The fact that Central Command is like, oh yeah, they'll keep their word. Yeah, sure they will.
Come on, buddy.
I mean, yeah, right. Isn't that naivete at its finest?
Yeah, and Gul Dukat even kind of seems surprised that they broke that rule.
Whoa.
Like, but they're not supposed to have ships.
I
What's
am
going on?
shocked and appalled right now. Why are there ships up there?
I can't even.
I thought I could even, but I cannot.
I am hurt and offended and hurt.
You know,
And
more
hurt.
than
You better give
being
me 5
angry,
minutes right now. I need 5 minutes. alone.
I am more disappointed that this happened. While we have company here,
Exactly.
this is what comes out.
This is how you treat me. You embarrass me in front of the Federation. Seriously.
Because you know he's going to go right back home, and this is everywhere.
I am hurt.
His admirals are going to know about this, and we're going to look like fools.
I am shocked, and I am hurt. And hurt that you would do such a thing, Obsidian Order. How dare you violate our...
She just starts playing the world's smallest violin. Ooh, God. Yeah. Doesn't she just laugh at him though? She
Yeah,
just
she's like, you would
openly
know
laughs
that.
in his
Yeah.
face.
You would
You're
know
not supposed to have ships.
What are you gonna do about it, bitch?
This lady is awesome. Like, I love Cardassia. Like, I used to think that I liked the Klingons. Like, the Klingons were awesome because, like, it's all honor bound and, like, rah, 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 let's fight and fucking, you know, be all honorable and shit. These motherfuckers are just cutthroat and just nasty to each other. It's awesome. Like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
The Klingons are like the football team. Like they'll go running and tackling dummies all day long. They're fine with that. But the Cardassians are like the fucking chess team.
Yeah, they're just ruthless, son.
They don't look so tough, but they're evil.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, I
They're
really...
conniving.
It's clear that Dennis had a bad experience with a chess team member at some point in his existence. Wow. I've never heard someone. I've never heard someone speak so strongly against the chess team. All right, whatever works.
We were usually a loved and ignored team.
Yeah, but these dudes are just fucking ruthless, and like they just revel in it. Like they love being ruthless.
Yeah.
Like think about like
even more so than the Romulans. I mean, who are pretty devious as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what though? They kind of all, like Dennis said, they're kind of all cut from the same cloth.
They are literally cut from the same
Yeah,
cloth.
they all wear the same fucking clothes. It's like, I don't want to sound like a Trump supporter here, but you see one Romulan, you kind of see them all. Like they all have fucking bowl cuts and big fucking
male, female, it's all the same.
Yeah, they all have like
there's one that looks like Yar.
They all
Other
look
than
like
that,
they all look like fucking Ace Frehley with those weird shoulder pad outfits on. Just a bad look.
That would be great to see the Romulan show up in Kiss makeup one day.
That would.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. We got a lot of episodes left. You never know what could happen.
You don't know what happens in season 7.
Yeah. You don't know what happens on Discovery, bro. But yeah, so they're just evil and devious, and it's cool. And so that's Thomas's plan. He wants to go blow up this fucking this factory, this shipyard.
Yeah.
You know, but to get there, he's got 10 people chasing him. He's got 3 people in front of him. He's it's not looking good for old Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, but when they meet the first Cardassian ship, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, it is.
That Defiant can really deal some damage.
It was cool.
3D20 damage.
Yeah, and it was cool because we got to see it actually, like as opposed because the first battle that took place, it was just like on a big Atari screen. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm just seeing like little graphics fight each other. This is stupid. So I'm glad that we actually got to see some space battles as opposed to just, you know, like little avatars going, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One disappears.
Yeah.
Now, I did like, though, when they originally, in the Central Command, they had the icons on the screen.
Look out, Jenny!
He must have already moved back.
He's gesticulating. But no, they had the icons for the Cardassian ships, but then they had the Federation symbol until they were like, and we've identified the warp signature as being the Defiant. And then it clicked and changed the icon to the Defiant shape.
Yeah, which is cool. It's a lot of work went into that. It's like playing D&D with your little minis.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, so they're doing their thing.
They have a very good roll 20 in the future.
Yeah, good roll 20.
But yeah, Defiant is badass. I mean, did we really see it do anything in the Jim Hadar episode?
Not really.
They talked more about it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of saw on the bridge, like them getting their shit worked by Jemadar.
But this, we get to see what it can do in space, and that rapid fire, the pulse cannons, the quantum torpedoes. This thing, they wanted a fleet of these to fight the Borg. That was the idea.
And it was cool too, man. Like the special effects are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it looked cool. Like I was I'm not gonna say that I was super in. I was super into it. Like it was good because I mean normally we don't get this in episodes. We just get either fucking guys talking about fighting, or you know we're taking what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the word? An ambassador. We're taking an ambassador from point A to point B while awesome shit happens on the side over here.
That's TNG. Yes.
And the rare time that you actually see the ships fighting, like you just see one just kind of sitting there firing phasers or something, and then they cut to the other one. But here they're flying past each other. And it's like
do pilot hands.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked cool, man. I was into it.
Yeah.
I really like this. I like this show. I like the series. I like the feel of it. It just feels, I don't know. It's got a wartime vibe to it. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of dummies just standing around wearing fucking jumpers.
Now, have we got to the area when Ducat talks about his son though, with that whole cats in the cradle speech?
Yeah,
that whole thing was just. It was the way he turned that on Cisco.
It was good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cisco was like, "Oh yeah, I have a son too. It's pretty funny when he's like, yeah, well, my son's gonna grow up hating you because of this." So,
and that's sad.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing is because he's basically saying
sad.
We will continue to not have peace between our two, federations or our nation states, what have you. because this resentment is going to carry on for another generation.
Yeah, but
You
at the
and I
same
might
time,
be able-
Nobody's going to know about the cooperation that saved the day. They're just going to know that, hey, this crazy ass Federation dude almost came in and invaded our space.
Yeah, you know what? But at the same time, too, though, tell your son to go fucking shut the fuck up. All right? Do you like having Cardassian clothes, and do you like having a Cardassian roof over your head? And do you like, well, Daddy's got to go to work sometimes, son. So why don't you fucking sack up and take your Cobra head outside and go make some fucking friends and stop being a pain in the ass?
We're supposed to go to the amusement center.
You know what? Here's a fucking amusement center. We're gonna go fucking beat the shit out of Thomas Riker.
Hey, did you die today when the
Yeah.
Federation blew up our planet? No, that's because Daddy did his job.
Hey,
Okay,
kid,
do you speak English now?
Wouldn't that be great if the amusement center actually was a place where they beat on prisoners?
yeah, that's probably
It probably is.
Prisoners. Hey, let's go torture some people. Fucking A.
Oh, do we still have the half-naked Picard hanging from the ceiling? Nah, we had to let him go. Shoot.
But we did take samples of his DNA and we made a new Picard, so it's pretty
All
awesome.
right.
So yeah.
Thomas Hardy, come on down.
So yeah, so I mean that's life sometimes, kids. See you later, can I have them, please? And the Cardassians and the cradles and the silver spoons. The little boy blue and the man at the moon. When we go to the amusement center, I don't know where, but we'll get together then. I know we'll have a good time.
I've had too many Harry Chapin moments this week. On to the next scene.
All right.
Stop
Well,
being pushed
you brought it up, man.
I
so
know,
you-
but now it's biting me in the ass, and I'm having a field of dream moments, and I'm going to cry. So.
Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. See you later. Can I have the space,
No.
please? My Cardassian son was just like me.
He fought the Maquis just like me.
He tortured Maquis just like me. Yeah, it was great, man. Wow. And then I guess somewhere along the way, it's just kind of, I don't want to say it gets repetitive because at least it's somewhat interesting. There's just ships chasing ships. And then,
Well, I mean, the situation keeps getting worse for the
Yeah.
Defiant because first there was only 3 ships in front of them. Then they beat one, but then 2 more ships showed up from the
Yeah.
planet. And then it's like, who knows how
10
many more.
behind them.
Yeah, who knows how many more.
it's like
are out
a
there.
giant fucking, they're running a train on the Defiant. We got 10 guys behind me and 5 guys in front of me, and they're all going to fuck us. So,
And it's not even Saturday night, so
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how to deal with
It
this.
turned
I
into
think-
Dog Day Afternoon real fast.
and then Kira's kind of like, hey, man, this ain't going to work. Like, you got to fucking get the hell out of here. And Thomas is being a real pain in the balls. And is he doing this to kind of separate himself from Will, or is he just, this
That's
is
what
all
she's
just
saying.
him trying to be it? She's like, hey, man, look, no one's going to give a shit about you anyway. Because Will, I mean, he's a real cool guy. I mean, if you hung out with him, he's awesome. Like, he's always doing fun stuff, and like, he fucks all the chicks, and like, he plays great Dabo, and like, he's always
I
got a
know.
funny story. And
I
like,
know.
you're just a dummy with the goatee, man. Like,
You're just a douche.
You're the
yeah,
bad twin. Nobody
Yeah, you're
likes you.
you're the shitty. Twin.
It's like you're not like, you know how like you have Kirk and he went over to the parallel universe, and then there was like a good Spock and a bad Spock. Well, you're not like that. You're more like the Schwarzenegger Danny DeVito thing, where there was the good twin that was like awesome, and then the bad twin, not because you're evil, but because you're shit.
yeah, you're
I
just
imagine,
crappy.
I imagine Thomas Riker's breaking point was people would see him and be like, oh,
No.
like that, the recognition that it's not actually
Yeah.
Will Riker. They're like, oh, hi, how you doing, Thomas?
Maybe he just kept getting hit with paternity suit after paternity suit because they have
Hey,
to say
the
they have to
DNA
say
matches.
DNA. It's like, well, you are my dad. Like, I'm not. There was a phaser accident and like transport. Like, yeah, right, motherfucker.
He's like, you know what? There's no family courts in the Maquis, so I'm going with them.
Mhm. He's getting stuck with all the child support. He's
yeah,
like, fuck this shit.
yeah. This is a bullshit.
How's my bank account empty all the time?
That's my. I ain't got no space bucks.
I've never been to Vulcan.
This is bullshit.
Damn it.
I was stuck on a fucking. That kid's 9. I was on a goddamn
Tellarite.
space station.
Tellarites? Seriously, Will? The Tellarites? You fucked a Tellarite?
I was on a space station for 7 years. How the fuck can it be that kid's dead?
He's shaving.
Just the space emails though between Will and Thomas, and like Will goes to open the space email, and it's like, you've got mail, and
that
the,
one's
the
going to
subject
Thomas.
line is Tellarites ? Exclamation point. Are you serious? ? Exclamation point.
Delete.
Sort by name.
Mark as spam.
Thomas.
Marcus Spam. So Thomas is trying to, I guess, make his own cool way and be a stud, but it's just not working out for him at all.
So Cisco and Goldacott come up with a way out for him because Goldacott wants the hot intel on this secret planet.
Because I mean, for Gul Dukat, I mean, this is a one-off incident. He's thinking long term here. He's like, hey man, I need to know what the fuck is going on in this planet. The only way I'm going to find that out is if I got this ship. So just give me Riker. And Cisco's like, okay.
But you can't have the death sentence.
Yeah, you can't kill him. You can.
We'll just kill him in prison.
Yeah, we'll kill him slowly, which is a really I mean, he's a really shitty negotiator. Like, you can't kill him right away. Like, fine, we'll just work him to death. That's awesome. Either way.
That's fine. We're fine with that. He's the shitty twin.
Yeah, he's the crappy one.
Yeah.
And then, so it all.
He really should have been like, Cisco, you're not doing me any favors.
Yeah, I got a fucking work camp for my whole rest of my.
Can I just die?
Can I talk myself into a death penalty here somehow?
Maybe there'll be like another transporter accident, and I'll stay here, and then some other guy will go there, and then I won't have to do any of that stuff. That'll be.
That's what he should have been spending his time on, is trying to keep create a transporter duplicate of himself.
Yeah.
And just like flood the.
Because that would have been William, and then Thomas, and then
WT.
Then WT would have been up there in the fucking space camp, and then Thomas is like, "This is pretty fucking sweet. All I got to do is shave my goatee, and nobody will know it's me."
Every time you need to get out of a bad situation, let me just step in the transporter real quick.
Why did I do that one time?
I'm Billy Riker.
I'm Wild Bill Riker.
Oh, maybe it's like what's that, Multiplicity?
Multiplicity, where they just get dumber as they go.
Yeah,
that was a great movie. Go back and watch that. That's a sleeper.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton.
I mean, Michael Keaton. I mean, great dramatic actor, wonderful superhero actor, movie guy, and then just a wonderful actor.
Yeah.
You know, he was great in The Other Guys when he played when he played the captain who's like, I got to shift it bit back.
Keeps doing the TLC references and pretending like he doesn't know what it's from.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go chasing waterfalls, man.
He does a really good squint.
Yeah.
When he does either an angry or a confused look, he has a really good squint. Some actors can't pull that off.
What happened to him? For a while, he was just gone.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he was trying to figure out how to create a transporter duplicate of himself.
Because, like, I know he was in this one movie called Game 6, which was about, like, some playwright who goes to see Game 6 at Shea Stadium of the 86 series. And then, like, he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do shit. Like, there's a big hole in his resume.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and, like, the first thing I remember seeing him in was The Other Guys, where he was fucking great. And then he just kind of...
Well, Birdman, I think, really launched him back into the limelight again. But I think he needed to have that break. He's one of those actors that he had to transition from being a younger to, he had to make that leap across middle age. He had,
he couldn't Harrison Ford his way through it. He had to have the gap.
In some actors, I mean, you need that gap when you go from being the juvenile kid star to being the adults, well, not the adults, but the grown up, and then you didn't have to transition to being the older actor.
So, I mean, like, he was in like fucking Herbie Fully Loaded and shit like that at one point. Like, he wasn't doing jack shit. I mean,
well, he didn't do like Tom Hanks did, because they both start out in comedic style roles, and then move to comedic movies. So comedic TV, comedic movies. And then Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, all these guys, even Jim Carrey, which oddly enough, they hit that point where it's like, I'm now a serious thespian.
Yeah.
And they have
for Jim Carrey though.
But Tom Hanks and Robin Williams did okay with it. Yeah. And so then there's serious dramatic actor, like after Dead Poets Society, bam, after he stopped doing shit like The Burbs, Tom Hanks, starts doing, Philadelphia and Forrest Gump and shit like that. So you make that transition. And Michael Keaton got to the point he could make that transition, but then he just kept dancing. Well, no, he danced back and forth. He would do dramatic roles, but then he would do the comedic role. It's like, oh yeah, I'm very dramatic in this role, and then I'm doing Herbie.
Beetlejuice.
And yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, again, though, I mean, he was in, like, he didn't do shit for like 2001. The only thing on his resume in 2001 is a Simpsons episode, and then
Jesus.
2002 is he was on Frasier, and then he did like
Did he have
HP
like kids in high school or something like that?
I don't fucking know, man, but he
Pulled
didn't.
the old Bill Cower.
He didn't do jack shit. I mean, he did Jack Frost in 1998, right? And then he didn't do anything until 2000. And then he was in fucking, Herbie, Fully Loaded, And then he shows up on like a Tenacious D episode, and he was in Cars, I guess. I didn't see that. I don't fucking know.
I
That's
don't
voice,
remember
that's
in
voiceover
Cars.
work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was Chick Hicks. I don't know shit about. I haven't seen Cars. I don't know anything about it. But then
He was in
like
RoboCop.
yeah, but that was after he was in The Other Guys, which was,
Yeah, it was after the other guys.
yeah. And then he
I
did
haven't
like
seen the new RoboCop.
I heard it was okay.
It's all right.
I ain't gonna. Why do I need the new RoboCop when I got the awesome
You
old
don't.
one?
That's why there's not a new RoboCop 2.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't care how good the new RoboCop is. Like, the first RoboCop movie is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for that shit. I'll just watch Freeze. And now he's in
Punk.
now he's in everything.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, you got to take that break, and then you come back for the second half of your career.
Yeah. But dude, the guy's fucking. I mean, you can't make a movie without him showing up anymore.
And he's always the best part
He's
of
great,
that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, he was. I mean, for my money, he's the best Batman.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like his Batman's great. How fucking great is Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Johnny Dangerously's awesome. That Clean and Sober movie's pretty fucking great too. Like he's just a great actor.
Mr. Mom was great.
Yeah, Mr. Mom was great. I
With
mean,
Star Trek alumni Terry Garr.
yeah, how great is fucking Gung Ho is awesome.
Mhm.
Like I love Michael Keaton. I mean, and Beetlejuice, dude. Come on, it's fucking Beetlejuice.
And little Michael Keaton, back when he was still little Michael Douglas, worked on the Mr. Rogers show.
Yeah.
What?
He was one of the production staff. But he went off to Hollywood and he changed his name.
Yeah, because there was already a Michael Douglas. So I guess his favorite actress was Diane Keaton.
There were two Michael Douglases, weren't there?
Yeah.
Well, no, there's Kirk Douglas and Michael Douglas, and then
But there was a talk show host, Michael Douglas, too, right?
right, but he doesn't have a SAG card, so he's not an actor.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
I
then
love
Michael Douglas from Pennsylvania changed his name to Michael Keaton because his favorite comedic actor was Buster Keaton.
Yeah, I thought it was Diane Keaton. I tell you what, though, I can't wait to show my kids Beetlejuice. That's going to be the best day in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie rules.
If the Beetlejuice cartoon were still around, you could be showing it to them now.
Oh wow!
Beetlejuice cartoon was good, but then they won't have an appreciation
Yeah.
for the real thing.
Well, no, you got to do it just like it came out for us. You do it chronologically so that you build
It's like
to
with
it.
the Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anywho, let's start.
The
I mean,
Will Real Riker.
yes, Will Riker comes out and he takes the deal, and then much to the chagrin of his crew, there, especially that lady who's real proud of herself for doing everything. She's like, "What a fucking! I can't!
You're just
I'm
gonna
going
give
to
up
jail.
now? What the
I can't believe I sucked his dick." And then that's the episode. Oh, but then he smooches Kira, who's
Plants a good one on her.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
who seemed
Hey.
like she was kind of into it, I guess, or
She
she's
was about to pass out.
yeah.
She got weak in the knees.
Maybe he's a,
Sorry for the sexual harassment, but
here's some more sexual.
I'm
harassment.
gonna go to prison for a very long time.
Yeah,
This is the last time I get to do this with a woman.
Yeah,
I'm only going to have gay Kardashian sex from now
I'm
on.
only
so.
going to be getting fucked in the ass by guys that look like cobras.
So it's a win-win.
I have no idea what their genitals look like.
And then, frankly, I don't want to know. It scares me. Have you seen their necks? I can only imagine what their beans look like. Oh my God, it's going to hurt. Or be pretty rad. I haven't decided yet.
Let's see how it tastes.
I'll try it at least
Get
once.
back to me.
Let me know how it tastes. And then she makes some bullshit promise to him, like, we'll get you out of there, Will. Or
Right.
we ain't never going to see your ass again, Thomas Riker.
Yeah, that's the I'll call you every day promise. That doesn't last long.
But this just goes down into the long list of, like, we're going to see this guy. We'll keep in touch, guy. Like, yeah, right. You and Jeremy.
Jeremy,
Astor.
you are now Jeremy Astor is my brother.
Yeah. You and Jeremy Astor, baby. We'll see you on the fucking flip side. You ain't never coming back. And that's it. The episode's over.
They did talk about bringing him back.
Really?
In some of the production stuff. But then again, like for fourth season, when they put their call out to the freelance writers, it's like, here's some of the topics we'd like to have stories about. And then one of the things of here's some stories we'd not like to hear about.
Thomas
Riker. So it's like, oh, sorry. But the thing was, is some of the production guys were like, yeah, we could do whatever we want to with Thomas Riker. Because Will Riker is going to get, things are going to happen in the movies and the continuity and whatever, and we can't touch the TNG cast. But Thomas Riker's not TNG cast. He's a TNG cast off. So we can do whatever we want.
Well, according to, I guess, the novels, it is commonly believed that Thomas Riker died in Cardassian custody sometime during the Dominion War.
Yeah,
then they say in reality, though, Riker was still alive and recruited in a Starfleet intelligent Black Ops team known as Active 4. These are all the novels, so none of them count, right? This is all novel stuff.
And do the novels keep their own canon?
Some of them. It depends on, like, some of the licensed stuff. They would, like, depending on, like, the era and the publisher.
Okay.
It'd be like, okay, so from this era and this publisher, everybody was reading each other's work back then. And so you would try to reference back, and then you would, like, send your shit to your novel to, Doubleday or whoever. And then Paramount and the publisher would have, like, guidelines. Like a friend of ours, when he wrote his Star Trek novel, they sent the letter back, and the correction was Starfleet is one word because he had spelled it as two words.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, you think if you're writing a Star Trek novel, you would know that.
Well, when he was writing his novel, there wasn't a lot of canon spellings of Starfleet.
Interesting.
So that's how they establish stuff like that.
So, like, when you write your homoeroticism, you can't, like, do you have to go back and read all the other homoeroticism to make sure it all ties in together? So it's kind of like canon.
He doesn't have to, but he will.
About the first werebear in Starfleet.
It's research.
Sex werewolves.
Now, if I wanted to go back and, like, see, that's the thing. Like, it's a daunting task, I think, wanting to read Star Trek novels because there are literally hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah, and there's different versions, like different almost timelines, like alternate like how the Jar Jar Abrams Trek is it's another thing.
And I will say, my first foray into Star Trek novels, I've had two experiences. One was the Eugenic Wars, which I didn't like because it just.
Did you do both volumes?
I stopped reading the first one on two separate occasions because I just couldn't believe that his secretary could pretend to be a world famous and super smart geneticist just sitting on a plane flipping through some notes. Like, there's no way you're going to get a fucking check on that one.
And remember, though,
no way it's going to happen. Like,
his secretary was played by Terry Garr.
Yes.
In the original. So now then think of Terry Garr with all the roles that she's ever done doing that in the novel. She's
just going to trick a room full of people, like a whole evil organization hell-bent on dominating the world through eugenics by, like, yeah, that is awesome. Like, I'm totally down with some eugenetics. Like, you're good. Come on board. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
She looks over at the note cards.
She's got it written on her palm. Oh, why am I so sweaty? Oh. And then
I saw this episode.
But they all had imposter syndrome, so they were all just playing along like they knew what was going on.
Yeah, they were all infiltrating an organization. Somebody's got to know what's going on here. We'll get to the bottom of this one. I know it.
That was the thing.
Try to arrest each other at the same time. No, you're under arrest. You're under arrest.
The entire eugenics war started because the spy organizations got word that there was a eugenics. There wasn't. And then they actually made the eugenics program themselves.
Yeah.
Just from fucking being
to try and trap people.
They were trying to, like, oh, you want me to do some science? Sure, I'll do that.
The whole thing was an accident.
Give me some song and stuff. I guess. I don't know.
Ricardo
Test tubes.
Montalban.
I need test tubes.
I need a
Bunsen burner?
beaker. That's right.
Exactly.
But yeah, and then I read another one that I didn't realize until about halfway through it that it was just a novelization of episodes.
Oh,
It was like those, and I was like, but I know what happens. So my experiences have not been awesome this trip.
Some of the novelizations are not bad.
They're not, but I mean, like, I wanted something new. Like, I could just go watch the episode and
Like if you watch a movie first and then read, like if a movie's made off of a book, like Jurassic Park, for example, I saw the movie before I read the book. And it was like the book was the novelization, but so it had so much more details. It just made it that much better. I think that's a better way to do it than reading the book first and then watching the movie. Like, well, they didn't, they skipped over so much important stuff.
Well, my thing is that's why I was able to actually enjoy Jurassic Park, because there were a lot of plot holes that I didn't notice because I just read the book and then I went to see the movie. And so whenever there was something that they didn't explain in the movie, in my head, I forgot that they didn't explain it because I was like, oh, yeah, it's because of the frog DNA.
Gaps yourself.
Yeah, I filled the gaps in from the book, so I enjoyed the movie more.
Yeah.
I'm with that. All right. So there you go.
I still recommend, though, because my stance on the novels for, Star Trek books. But I highly, highly, highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of Kirk era stuff, that you read Strangers from the Sky. It is completely not canon. We didn't know. It didn't go counter to anything that we knew at the time in canon. And it crosses between Wrath of Khan era. I think it was like just before the Wrath of Khan. It does, what do you call it? Original series, like the first Kirk pilot with Gary Mitchell.
Okay.
Era. And there's time travel, and then it talks about the first meeting of the Vulcans with humans.
Oh, okay. All right.
And again, it's the way it's written is really unique that they use two different fonts. So when you're in the one era, it's in one font, and then when you do the flashbacks to the other era when they're remembering things, it's a different font. And I've literally read that book all the way through one summer, and then a little while later I went back and I just read the modern day stuff. And then I went back another time and read just the flashbacks. And so it's literally like they wrote two stories and then melded them together perfectly.
That's pretty cool. What's that book called?
Strangers from the Sky.
I'll try to find that one.
It's on audiobooks. What do you call it? Audible.com.
All right, I'll have to check that out. They don't sponsor us, so fuck them.
Yeah, I was going to say use keyword dork trick.
That doesn't happen. You can try.
Boner.
You can
See,
try.
here's the key. Can there be like a grassroots?
If something happens, let us know.
Yeah, because you owe us some money, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying maybe they'll, if enough people do it, then Audible will contact us and go, hey, why is everybody using promo code DorkTrek?
Why does everyone use promo code Boner? If you're going to do anything, just sign up for the Patreon. We'll buy our own fucking Audible books. I don't give
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's rate the episode. So what'd you think? Jenny, you go first. Because I'm worried about your safety. I want you to get out of that room as soon as possible because Ben's going to punch you in the face.
Get out of there!
Very likely, yeah. I'm going to blow up the space station, but it's okay. You know what? I'm going to give this episode a 9.
Jesus.
I love this episode.
Wow.
Whoa.
Ladies love the Riker.
A 9?
It's true. No, I love that they completely fooled me on the Riker thing, and I didn't feel like this was just me being oblivious this time. Like sometimes I'm like, how did I not see that? That was completely obvious. They totally got me. They had the Cardassians. They had space battles. Like, what the hell else do you need?
That's
amazing.
Wow. I'm stunned.
Yeah.
9. Wow. Okay.
I thought there would be high scores for this one, but I wasn't expecting it.
Me too. Like I'm almost.
My body was not prepared.
I'm almost sad that I went to you first. I should have went to you last. What about you?
Sorry.
No, I mean 9. I
was gonna say 8. I thought I would be on the high end here. Look at me, Debbie Downer all of a sudden.
Yeah. 8. Wow. What about you, Benjamin?
I'm thinking, I was going with an 8. And I think one of the things that got me there was, like we said at the beginning, how much we missed Will Riker.
Yeah.
Or Jonathan Frakes in general.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a great actor, and it's
like seeing an old friend again.
Yeah, when he first came on this episode, you know how sometimes there's like crossover episodes with sitcoms and shit, like back in the day with Must See TV, and you'd get the cast from this show you'd pass them on the sidewalk. It's like, oh, there's the cast from Friends. Hey, guys. Or when the mom from Family Matters would show up on Perfect Strangers kind of thing. And they're not written the same way.
Yeah.
And so you can tell that something's a little off because a different set of writers are used. For this, it was like, oh, there's Riker.
Being
and
Riker.
It just, boom, So, it's like.
I bet they had fun with writing Riker because, like, then they didn't have to do everything so serious and, kind of warmonger. It's like, this guy's going to talk about fucking chicks. And they're going to be all like, oh, my God, I can't believe what a stud is.
Well, there's a grin that he has. Yeah. Like when he first said something about, your evening's all planned out.
A little gleam in his eye.
He gets his little twinkle and it's like, and her panties just moistened. Yeah. I mean, that's just, he uses that superpower and it's great to see him again.
Yeah. I feel I'm going to see, I was going to go 7 and 5, but then I feel like a total dick bag. So I'm going to say 8. I really like this episode a lot. Like it was great. I agree with everything everybody said. It's just so much fun to see Will.
Yeah.
God bless him. All right.
Even though it wasn't Will.
But I mean, it was for a minute, for a stitch in time, for a moment. You thought it was Will. You're like, wow, look at him just being all, he's going to fuck all the chicks on DS9, But he did. He ended up fucking them, I guess, figuratively. Because,
stole their ship.
Yeah, I'm going to steal your shit, bitch. So, well, there you go. That's the episode. Thank you for listening. What a wonderful time. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, hang on. Pause for a second. Really fast. All right, this is for the Patreons only, right? Only Patreons can hear this. Only 9 people can hear this, okay?
Oh, my God.
Because that's how many Patreons we have. Did you guys all watch Discovery?
Yes. Third episode.
Did you like Discovery?
I think it's amazing.
Jenny says amazing.
Okay. I think it's great.
I mean, I think there are some flaws still that whatever, but the story setup is great. I mean, even like the thing with the fungus, they're creating like this new warp drive with fungus. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
It was very, very Trek.
So different.
It was very Trekkinese. Like they were trekking it out, I thought, for that. Just for because the weird kind of just terminology and stuff they were using it, I felt very Trekky. Dennis says you like it too, right?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. They it definitely makes you want to see more because you're kind of wondering where it's going. Because I thought they were building chemical weapon or biological weapons too.
Yeah. So did I. Yeah.
It's like, no, this is for transportation, blah blah blah. But then he's still got something else going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what's going to happen? But I like it. I like Michael and how she's having to interact with the crew and stuff like that. So
there's, it's funny to have a female with the first name Michael because I only knew of one other female named Michael, and that was
she was a traitor. That can't possibly be you. I mean, she was black and kind of Vulcan-y and everything. That's not you. Why are you still in the same?
Why are you wearing a prison uniform? I don't understand.
And see, that was one of the things I loved was her prison uniform. Because it reminded me of the old jumpsuits that the crewmen would wear.
Yeah.
And they would have those, and it was and they would be the well, not just in engineering, but if you were enlisted or what I guess we would call enlisted now, and you had one of those jumpsuits on, it matched your division color.
Yeah.
So the science guys would have
the
blue,
red ones.
Engineers would have the red ones, and the command guys would have the gold ones. So she had the right color scheme because she was a former, first officer, and
she's a jailbird.
I did say last time when we talked about Discovery about the badges, in each ship having its own badge. Someone made an explanation on Reddit that kind of, and I'm not going to go into it in too much detail here, but it really kind of explained away and was consistent with what we saw in the original series.
Okay.
And so it helped me make peace with it more than I had. I still hate the uniforms.
The black badges are the 31. They're the secret. The
Well,
secret
people
ops.
don't know about Section 31 yet. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
But
not in Discovery, but I mean in general.
well, in DS9 though, we haven't got there yet.
okay.
So,
Oh, well, but nobody's hearing this but Patreon people. So
well, yeah, but Ginny and Dennis don't know about it.
Didn't
I don't
they
know
come-
about it. I just
don't
read
know
it.
about it.
I read about
Did
it.
it not
online.
come up in TNG?
I don't think so.
Nope. DS9 was the introduction, and then they brought it up in Enterprise, though.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay. And but Ben, you like Discovery so far?
this I considered to be the pilot episode,
Okay.
and we watched the After Trek for the first episode.
Oh, God, I
or the
can't.
first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
You watched it.
It's pretty shit.
Yeah. After Trek is bad.
I don't. It's in that nerd. It's like you took
I
the
haven't
C
even tried
team
to
from the
watch it.
Nerdist,
Yeah.
but they had some of the production guys on there. And when he said the first 2 episodes were like the prologue for this, and then this was the pilot episode, that helped me, like it a little bit better. I know it's just fan service, but when she says that her, adopted mother would read her Alice in Wonderland
Yeah.
to her and her other
brother,
her son,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, what was her name? And she says Amanda.
Doug.
I'm
and
just
kids.
like,
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, there was some cool stuff there. I tell you what, though, like, the episode didn't feel very Trekky because it was very kind of like pitch black horror movie kind of vibe to it. Like,
I got Alien,
Yeah,
that
it was-
vibe with
but
when
I-
Sigourney Weaver show up.
but I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. Never mind. Okay, it just flew right out of
I
my
think it felt Trekky enough that, I mean, to me, like, I don't know about Ben because, he's Mr. Star Trek and everything, but to me, like, it felt Trekky enough, but it's updated enough that they can introduce that horror aspect
Yeah.
and, just kind of take it in a different direction. And it wasn't, like, offensive,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I definitely wasn't. I don't want to say shocked by it, but I was like, wow, this is good. Like, for a television program, like, this is pretty rad.
I do like how they have all the crew members relating to her differently. Like,
Yes.
they're not all treating her the same because she's a prisoner. They all treat her like she's a prisoner and this pariah or whatever, but they all have a different approach to try to relate with her.
Sanu.
The engineer is a dick to her,
Yeah.
and her roommate's kind of scared of her.
What's the guy's name? Is it Sanu?
Saru.
Saru. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like,
Doug
dude.
Jones.
Yeah, he's amazing. The cat.
Is that who
the-
that is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The captain is great. Like, I love the captain because, like, I have no idea where he's coming from on this.
He
Like,
seems like he might be batshit crazy.
Mhm.
yeah. But it's,
Well, you have to do what you have to do to win the war.
yeah.
This is what happens when
It's like
you have.
my eyes have trouble adjusting to the light after the battle.
People think it.
Please excuse the darkness.
Yeah. It's good, but I think he's really good. Like, I kind of, and like, I have no idea where he's coming from. Like, he's just like,
And I don't think I've ever heard him attempt an American accent or like a non-British accent before. So I think that makes it even more creepy. It's like, what is going on with your
I
voice, dude?
actually thought the accent was pretty good. It was like,
I didn't think it was bad, but it's just like, it's hard to place.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's from New York or California.
he sounds
or
like
whatever,
he's
you
from
know?
like Texas, Louisiana or something, but he's doing an accent where he's intentionally trying to suppress his native accent,
yeah.
which
It's
I
like a
was trying to
Liam
figure out.
Neeson American accent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost right, but there's something that's just not quite there. So it just makes his characters even more off kilter, which is great.
But I don't know if it's because like we know that he's doing an accent, you know?
And we also,
See-
he's also doing shady shit, which is
Right.
Well, see, my thing with his accent, though, a lot of times when I know a British actor from BBC or something like that first, and then I see them do an American accent, it just really throws me off.
yeah.
Like, that was the thing I didn't like about Doctor Strange the most, was him doing an American accent.
It was awful.
With Claudia Black, who was on Stargate SG-1. She was also on that other space movie,
Farscape, right?
Farscape. Thank you.
Yeah, she's
But
in
so-
Pitch Black.
So I'd always
She's
seen her
in
with a
Odyssey.
British accent, but then she was on
She's
Dresden
sexy.
Files back, differently, like before some of this, and she was doing that, hey, I'm British, but I got to get a job in America TV, so let me do an American accent. And it threw me out of that entire episode because she was doing an American accent, and I've always known her
That's a
English.
British lady. Okay.
But for this, it didn't, even though I'm, I love the Harry Potter movies, and, I hope he did hear about all the stuff that was going on over on The Flash last season. It didn't throw me out of it. It just, I was like, okay, he's American now.
Yeah. I thought he was good. I liked it. I like the security officer. I think she's cool.
Oh yeah,
she's kind of a badass.
She's from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, there you go. Okay, all right. It's very bitchy Trek. Like everybody's being very snarky to each other. Like I
was about to say, like, one of the things I noticed is that like everybody's blaming this girl for the war.
Yeah, which is that's a lot.
Like I don't quite understand that because it seemed like the war was going to happen anyways, right?
And if they had listened to her, they might not have actually had a war. Or it might have been, might have gone a different way.
That's why the captain's into her, though, because the captain's like, look, you were right. Like, if you would have fired first, who knows what could have happened? And I need that with me on this ship. I think that there's some interesting things happening, and so far, so good. 3 episodes in, I still like it. I'm okay with paying my $5 a month.
So,
I think you had I checked mine after you posted yours, and I signed up monthly.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure nobody got screwed on that.
Yeah, but that was good looking out, though.
Because they did not give me that option. They probably heard some of my previous comments.
And I'm sure CBS is listening.
Fuck this guy.
I told them.
Cash grab.
Cash grab.
Yeah, where's your cash grab now, Ben?
Yeah, but you know what? They're still grabbing my cash, baby. They can have it. And they have all the Odd Couple episodes. The original Odd Couple. I was watching that the other day. It's awesome. I was really stoked about that. Yeah.
I haven't gone through their catalog yet to see.
It's all right. It's all right.
CBS. See, my fear is that they're going to pull all the Trek off of the other streaming services if All Access doesn't get the subscription base it needs.
Well, whatever.
Sounds like they're doing okay.
Yeah.
But how many people are just going to cancel once Discovery's over?
Well, they're going to have to.
But I think they expect that. But a lot of people will just be too lazy to do it too.
If people are into this Trek, start another one, man. Let's get some Treks. Let's get some Treks, yes.
Since it's a prequel, we're on Deep Space 2.
And
this is back before all that.
But everybody digs it so far then.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. That's all I wanted to know. That's for Patreon people only. Yeah. Oh, and thank you for supporting the pod. Very nice.
Hey, I had a question about that.
Shoot.
With the monthly hangout.
Yes.
Do they get to interact with us, or do they just get to watch?
They can hang out. It's just going to be a hangout. You guys don't even necessarily have to be there if you don't want to.
Touching's allowed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna basically do this
over the close them
only. And just
I might even pay a little extra.
I might even record it or whatever and put it out. I don't know, man. Just see how much fun we can have. I don't fucking know. Okay. Maybe I'll set a homework assignment or something. We can all watch a TV show.
Are they allowed to make eye contact with us?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No cameras for them.
Their camera has to be off.
Yeah.
Or it has to be a crude drawing of themselves.
Or our camera has to be off, but we can, FaceTime each other and make fun of them behind their backs. Even though there's only 2. And
we put them on mute and then we talk about them.
You guys are fucking dicks. No, you guys are awesome.
The Patreon guys are special too. It's the other ones that aren't.
They got to laugh. I saw somebody talking about it, so that's cool. I dig it. And you know what, though? This is just for them anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's what this is. This is like the people at the country club talking bad about the poor people on the outside. The poor people ain't going to hear them because they're outside.
Yes. This is why you can make fun of the Amish all the time.
Being poor.
Yeah, they're outside being fucking poor. This is, all right. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Patreon supporters.
Bye-bye.